Here's to our country markets, to the moms and the pops, to the 3 generations strong, to the lifeblood of our communities, for prepping our meals and lending a hand through the good times and challenging times.
I'll be there when you need me. You can count on it every time.
Thank you for always being there for us. Your friends at G-Stone Motors.
Well, good evening, race fans, and welcome to the sprint car capital of the world. But tonight, it is invaded by the Northeast Beast, the small block modified, presented by G-Stone Motors, as we are out here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway here in Knoxville, Iowa, a half mile, with over 30 cars in the pits here to making the long track out here to Knoxville to put on a show for you. What's going to take place here tonight? Well, qualifying getting underway. We're going to have some time trials to set our heat races, where the top 4 in each heat race will be inverted. 8 laps will be the distance, with the top 4 advancing to tonight's main event. Last chance qualifiers will be 10 laps in distance, with a to be determined amount of cars making it into tonight's feature, which is 35 laps, which will see 24 race cars start here tonight here at the Knoxville Raceway. And this racetrack, also known for the sprint car racing, but the mighty 802 358 modified series is going to be here, presented by the 802 iRacing, and we thank you for tuning on in. My name is Upstate Al, filling in for the great Roger Muth, who is out on assignment here this evening. So we are bringing you all the action right now. Anthony Roselli in car number 7 atop of the scoring pylon for his qualifying time. And he sits there fast time here tonight with a 19.05. He is out qualified. Clay Christopherson in car number 51. Bachman, Vitali, Dixon, Lawson, Barker, Barber, Sharp, and Garan, your current top 5. CJ Lever out onto the racetrack now for his qualifying efforts in car number 4. The driver here as he works off a turn number 2. You can see where your favorite drivers are popping in here during our time trial session this afternoon. Lever up the racetrack off a turn number 4. Lever is going to be 19th quick here. So qualifying just about wrapped up, and we will go into our heat race action momentarily. But Knoxville going to be a great race. We're going to see 2, 3, maybe even 4 wide racing here. We had a heck of a rain shower come in, a little bit delayed on getting the start here tonight, but that does not delay the action at the 802 G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series, presented here by the 802 iRacing League, along with the Super Dirt Car Series. And if you have not checked out the Super Dirt Car Series Facebook page or website, they just announced their 2025 racing season, and good to see that. And some old new tracks on the schedule in 2025. I was talking with Dean Reynolds before we went live here this afternoon, and it's going to be a good year for dirt modified racing up here in the Northeast. And of course, it all gets kicked off in February, with all these drivers from the Northeast will head down south to Florida and chase the big gator down there. But tonight, we're chasing the victory lane here at the Knoxville Raceway, and it is going to be a good one for you. Up next will be our heat races coming up. We'll start with heat race number 1 here tonight, coming on up. We hope you're all doing well out there. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Let these drivers know you appreciate their efforts here as qualifying. Just about to get the checkered flag by Barney, our flagman here in the iRacing server. And this racetrack, a beautiful one. And the track going to be very fast. I think we're going to see it widen out as the night goes on. We got plenty of racing on it coming your way. Up next will be our heat races. In just about 35 seconds. So while we wait for that, we'll step aside 1 second. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you for watching the 802 iRacing Series 802 G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series. We'll be right back.
My father, Gardner Stone, has grown our dealership with one thing in mind: to treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, the way you buy a vehicle now is everything is ordered, so customers have to pick where they want to buy a vehicle. The people coming back for their second, their third, their fourth, their fifth vehicle, it's a good relationship, but that tells you that they know that we're going to take care of them. At G-Stone Motors, we just don't make customers, we make long-lasting friends, and I think that separates us.
G-Stone Motors, Route 7 South, Middlebury, Vermont.
Welcome back here as we get ready to go with heat race number 1 coming to action. Connor Barker will be on the pole for heat race number 1. Randall Dixon in car number 11 will roll off in P number 2. Mike Brewer and Anthony Roselli are fast time here tonight. Roselli will start in P number 4. Jeff Sharp, Shane Billings making up row number 3. Row number 4 going to go to Glenn Sharp, and outside of him, car number 3 out of Texas, this is Garen Brimmer, and Scott Riome and Steven Brissett making up row number 5. 10 cars here in heat race number 1 as the field paces behind the iRacing pace truck as we get ready to go here with heat race action for the first time for the 802 iRacing League's G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series, and that pace truck lettered all up was right from G-Stone Motors. Make sure if you're in the market for a Ford, stop on up and see Todd in the gang. Tell them we sent you. Tell them that the 802 Racing Series sent you. We thank them for their support of our racing here this evening. Top 4 cars will make it into tonight's race automatic bid. Everyone else to the last chance qualifier a little bit later on in the program. Connor Baker and car number 15 is your pole sitter as they roll down here the turn number 3. Looking for our first green flag of the afternoon. 8 laps the distance. Strap on, and it's going to be a good one as they roll off turn number 4. Green flag is up. And we are underway. Down in the turn number 1, Baker Barker out to the early race lead now as they work down off of turn number 2. Down the back stretch. First time through turns 3 and 4. They got them 2 by 2 behind them. Jeff Sharp in that 28 automobile looking underneath the Dixon car who runs in third. That's the 00 or the 011 of Randall Dixon running in spot number 3 as they work down the back stretch. Anthony Roselli holding on to that 4th and final transfer spot, but he is under fire by the 28 of Sharp. Sharp digging down low. Bid for the race lead, though, already 2 laps into the books. 35 of Brewer taking a look to the inside. Mike Brewer down to the inside, down the backstretch into turn number 3. Slide job up across the new race leader. Barker does not quite yet. Going to try to cross him over, and Barker will lead back at the line. Great action right now. Your fast time qualifier on the outside looking in as Jeff Sharp has made his way around Anthony Roselli's number 7 car. Billings starting to roll up on the backside of him as well in that 12 automobile. Billings back here in the 17. He's got the number 3 of Brimmer, the driver out of Texas right there. 4 laps are in, 4 laps to go this time by. There'll be 3 to go for Brewer over Barker, Dixon, and Sharp, your top 4. Those drivers are locked in to tonight's race. Right now, Anthony Roselli, your fast timer, on the outside looking in. Roselli's down to the inside, trying to make something happen, hugging that inside berm. Got the car a little bit upset that time as they work down the front stretch. 2 to go here in heat race number 1 for the 802 G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series. Remember those Super Dirt Car Series passing points going to come into play as well as the white flag flies. Final trip around the speedway. Roselli down to the inside. He's got around Sharp, but he's not done yet. He's trying to get an insurance spot side by side for the transfer spot. Top 4 will make it. Roselli down low. He gets a little bit tight. Here comes Sharp rolling the outside. It's going to be Brewer. All eyes on the transfer spot, and it's going to go to Sharp at the line. Jeff Sharp going to hold on to your fast qualifier. Not making it into tonight's main is Mike Brewer. Picks up heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 going to roll up onto the racetrack next, and this is your starting lineup. Matt Barber out of Canada going to roll off on the front row, and outside of him, the FTM car number 18 of Logan Wentz. Michael Vitale in car number 213 will roll off third, and outside of him, the driver of the 51. This is Clay Christopherson. Brandon Garan going to roll off in spot number 5, and his dancing partner to the outside, well, it's the Super Dirt Car Series sponsor, car number 79. This is Dean Reynolds. Ty Dickinson and Daniel Smith will make up row number 4. And your 5th and final row will see Speedy Brissett and Dustin Coggin in car number 44. So the field is starting to roll off the speed off of there as they roll down here. Good heat race action. We're going to see that racetrack row move itself on out. So green flag is up. We're underway here in heat race number 2. Still going to roar down the backstretch down here. Barber catches that inside berm up the racetrack all the way to the outside there. 3 wide behind him. Christopherson in that 51 car works the inside underneath Wentz. Vitale right there as well. Dean Reynolds knocking on the back door of Vitale as they head down here in the turns 3 and 4. 2 by 2 all the way to a little bit deeper. Ty Dickinson in that 67 car trying to make something happen. Your top 4's got him side by side. Garan up the racetrack. He's trying to make a march towards the front as well. Dean Reynolds working down here through turns 1 and 2 in that Super Dirt Car Series 79 car, rolling the outside. He's in a record quarter panel of Vitale's 213 automobile. Reynolds now going to slide into spot number 4, and that's going to be for the transfer spot. So I believe we're going to have 3 heat races, but maybe 5 cars. We'll have to wait for official word on that. But right now, Dean Reynolds taking that 4th and final transfer spot that was on the paper. Because he's now on the attack. He's going to look to go underneath the number 51 of Christopherson. Christopherson in that 51 car holding on to 3rd as he's right there behind Wentz. Dean Reynolds with a slide job, a little bit of a Nerf bar to the 18 of Wentz. Wentz up the racetrack. That's going to put him back to the hot spot. That's all right there. Dickerson, Daniel Smith, Coggin, Bersetti, Garan, and Vitale. Something happened to Michael Vitale and losing connection. And they work down the backstretch. It is Barber out front, but here comes Reynolds. Dean Reynolds going to slide from 6th to the lead here. They're off the white flag crossover move by the 16 of Barber. Final trip around the half mile. These guys are vying for a good starting spot in tonight's 35-lap main event. Dean Reynolds with a run down to the inside. Barber's going to block it. Reynolds to the outside. Here comes Christopherson. to the outside as well, but it's going to be all Matt Barber picking up the heat race win after holding off Dean Reynolds, Christofferson, and Wentz. Your top four. Dickerson will roll on in fifth. Coggin, Smith, Garan, Brissett, and Vitale rounding out your top 10. Heat race number 3 getting ready to come up onto the racetrack, and this is the starting lineup. It's going to be Bud Molyneux in car number 883 rolling off on the pole, and outside of him in the Venom Racing car number 9, this is Brian Lawson. Jimmy Geikis in car number 116 will roll off third, and outside of him the 007, this is Sam Bachman. Sean Green and Kelly Wheeler will make up row number 3, and out in row number 4 is the C.J. LeVere and Cody Harris. Harold Klump and Eddie Brissett making up your 10 starters here in heat race number 3 as the field will look to roll off. And it is going to be a good one here. Good heat races come so far this afternoon as we roll into heat race number 3. A little bit of a weather delay, but glad to have you be a part of tonight's broadcast. Thank you for chiming on in. I'd like to say hi to everyone out there. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, though. Let these drivers know you appreciate their efforts here in the G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series. Green flag is up and we are underway. Molyneux going to work out to the race lead. They're all side by side behind him. Geikis down to the inside. He's trying to roll underneath Lawson's number 9. Here comes the number 7 of Sam Bachman. Bachman in that 007 trying to roll the outside. The 11 of Kelly Wheeler also there. He's on the 5th spot. Oh, a little bit of contact. He's going to lose 3, 4, 5 spots. They're rolling down here. Lap number 2 into the books. It is all Molyneux up on the front of this one over Lawson, Bachman, Geikis. Your top 4. Green in the car number 27. Now C.J. LeVere to the inside. LeVere going to try to slide up at the 116 of Geikis right there as well. Lawson underneath there for the race lead, trying to make something happen. Couldn't there. He's going to have to get back up. Slams the door shut on Bachman for the time being. Bachman said, well, you can try slamming that door. I'm just going to keep going higher. Up there, 3 wide. C.J. LeVere really working the inside now. Car number 4 into the 3rd spot. As they work down here through turns 1 and 2, halfway into this one. 4 laps to go. As they work down here, you can see him right up there. Hang on to her, CJ, as he tries to make a slide job underneath Bachman, but he's got that transfer spot. Bachman now on the hot seat. LeVere not done yet. He's going to try to go to the race lead. Down to the inside underneath Lawson is LeVere. Now Bachman going to drop to the low side of the speedway. Sees the hay that the forest cutting down there. He's going to say, all right, time to go. Popsicle sticks are up. 2 laps to go for Molyneux. LeVere, Lawson, Bachman. Geikis, your top 5. 15 of Eddie Brissett trying to make some noise a little bit deeper in the back here, but still on the outside looking in, and Wheeler's trying to make some ground back up as well. Molyneux trying to hold off, but LeVere knocking on the back door. LeVere now to the inside, trying to slide up, keeps it down low, missing that slick that's starting to show up. Up off a turn number 4, LeVere to the inside. He's going to take the race lead. Molyneux going to try to cross him back over. Unable to get there. C.J. LeVere from 7th to 1st. Here in heat race number 3, Molyneux will come home in 2nd. Bachman, Lawson, Geikis, Green, Brissett, Wheeler, Klump, and Harris. Rounding out heat race number 3. And that is going to be our final heat race LCQ. Coming up, I'm not sure if we're going to have 1 or 2. Probably, it might be 2, but we'll take a get there in a moment. And this is your starting lineup. Anthony Roselli going to roll off P number 1 outside of him. The 116 of Jimmy Geikes. Dustin Coggin will roll off third in car number 44. Shane Billings in car number 17 will roll off fourth, and in the starting fifth in the number 15, this is Eddie Brissett. Brandon Garan going to roll off sixth. Stephen Brissett going to roll off seventh. Harold Klump and Michael Vitale. Your 9 cars scheduled here for tonight's first, I believe, of 2 last chance qualifiers. They roll off. Roselli, remember, was your fast time here this evening at the Speedway. Had to start fourth in that heat race number 1 and just missed it by 1 spot. Pace truck dumping off the racetrack just like that as they roll off of turn number 4. Barney's got the green flag in his hand. We are ready to go racing. The last chance qualifier number 1 is underway. Side by side, here comes Geikes in at 116. He's got a good run down the backstretch. Going to keep it in line behind Roselli. Coggin down to the inside. Here comes Billings, Brissett, Duran. That's how they work down here through turns. See them all fanning out here. We'll see how many they are going to be taking out of these last two qualifiers. As Geikes goes to the inside underneath Roselli. Roselli working there, and then car number 7 now cuts it back to the inside. Sliding back up there, trying to gap himself. 0.3 of a second lead, but now Geikes with a good run off turn number 4. Good battle there. Stephen Brissett in the 59 car trying to make some ground on the 4 of Garan. And a little back there, Harold Klump and Michael Vitale trying to make something happen. Vitale was running in a transfer spot before something gone awry in that heat race. Now has to try to find his way back towards the front of this one. Shane Billings in the 17 car rolling there. Coggin in the white number 44. The top 4 cars single filing it out. As Duran runs in spot number 5. He's under fire by right now, Anthony Roselli leads it. 4 laps to go. Right now, top 5, everybody really single file right around the outside of the racetrack. Down the front stretch, popsicle sticks will be up. 2 laps to go. Roselli trying to punch his ticket. We know that at least if you win it, you'll move on. We're waiting for the officials here to tell us how many are going to move here in the 802 G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series Last Chance Qualifier. Coggin to the inside. White flag is up. Brissett, Vitale now working there as well. Vitale up to the 6th spot. Will it be enough? Off of turn number 4 though, and coming to the line, it is going to be Roselli picking up the win. Geikes, Billings, Coggin, Garan, Vitale, Brissett, both Brissetts, and then Klump rounding out. Last chance qualifier number 1. Is last chance qualifier number 2 rolling up onto the racetrack. This is your starting lineup. Ty Dickinson in car number 67 roll off on the pole, and outside of him, the driver of the Texas, Garen Brimmer, in car number 3. The 27 of Sean Green will roll off third, and outside of him, the 57 of Daniel Smith. Scott Riome will roll off fifth, and outside of him, his dancer partner, the 11 of Kelly Wheeler. Speedy Brissett will roll off seventh in car number 3, and outside of him, the number 99 of Glenn Sharp. And shotgun on the field, the car number 20, this is Cody Harris. That is your 9-car field here as we get ready to go with last chance qualifier number 2. And they're taking the top 6, so we'll take a look here at consolation race number 1's results as this one rolls on out. And so Micah Vitale in that 6th and final transfer spot. So Anthony Roselli picks up the win. Jimmy Geikus, Shane Billings, Dustin Coggin, Brandon Garan, and Michael Vitale will be your 6 cars moving on. Stephen Brissett, Eddie Brissett, and Harold Klump will all have to put it in the box. Dickinson on the pole in car number 67. He'll set the pace and we'll go live this time in turn 4, and should be another great race here. And last chance qualifier number 2. Down the front stretch they come, and they are going into the Super Dirt Car Series restart zone, and we are underway. Down here in the corner, Dickinson going to work out to the early race lead over Smith, Wheeler, Green, Sharp, Rayome. Remember, that 6th spot is where the transfer spot is. Here comes the 27 of Green. He's rolling the inside of the racetrack. The 4 of Rayome is in 5th, and then the dogfight back here. Glenn Sharp in that 99 has the last spot. The 303 of Speedy Brissett trying to make something happen, along with the 20 of Harris. Dickinson out front, though, over Smith. Wheeler down to the inside underneath Green. Brissett down to the inside, trying to get that 6th and final transfer spot away. A little bit of contact work off the races down with Sharp's 99. And Sharp has come to a rest here on the backstretch, and that's unfortunate for Glenn Sharp as he will be out of this one. Rayome still rolling the bottom side of the racetrack. Everyone else on the outside of the racetrack. Dickinson, Smith, Green, Rayome, Wheeler, Brissett, your top 6 that are locked into the night's race. 5 are in, 5 laps to go as the cross flags are up. But the battle is back here between Speedy Brissett and Cody Harris. The 20 of Harris trying to get around Brissett to make it in the late race. Meanwhile, Smith with a good run to the inside. Slide job coming. Dickinson going to cross it up down to the inside, but a new race leader, the 57 of Smith. As these top 5 cars know they're locked into the ninth race with 3 laps to go. They can't afford to make a mistake, get into each other. But every spot that they pass is another row towards the front and for tonight's 35-lap main event. Off the corner, Green down to the inside. He still has spot number 3. There are 3 different lines now being used. Pair last chance qualifier number 2. The last 6 cars are going to get locked in. It'll make up our 24-car field. White flag is up. Down the backstretch for Daniel Smith, but he is on the under attack there. off through turns 3 and 4. Dickinson, one last effort, and going to come up a little bit short at the line. It is going to be Smith, Dickinson, Green, Rayom, Wheeler, Brissett. Your top 6 lock in their way in. Harris, Brimmer, and Sharp will all try again next week. Well, we got a quick second. We'll step aside. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with tonight's G-Stone Motors A-Main.
Here's to our country markets, to the moms and the pops, to the 3 generations strong, to the lifeblood of our communities, for prepping our meals and lending a hand through the good times and challenging times.
I'll be there when you need me. You can count on it every time.
Thank you for always being there for us. Your friends at G-Stone Motors.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
See what you can do, man.
Oh. Wait.
That's a strike right there.
Woo!
Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
My father, Gardner Stone, has grown our dealership with one thing in mind: to treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, the way you buy a vehicle now is everything is ordered, so customers have to pick where they want to buy a vehicle. The people coming back for their second, their third, their fourth, their fifth vehicle, it's a good relationship, but that tells you that they know that we're going to take care of them. At G-Stone Motors, we just don't make customers, we make long-lasting friends, and I think that separates us.
G-Stone Motors, Route 7 South, Middlebury, Vermont.
It is all but done. But the crying here tonight at the Knoxville Raceway. The main event is coming up next. 24 cars strong. As we get ready to go with that feature event here. It's been a great night of racing. I want to thank you all for tuning on in here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. My name is Upstate Al, bringing you all of tonight's racing action. As our head honcho, Roger Muth, out on assignment as we get ready to go with tonight's main attraction. And I tell you, it's going to be a good one coming up here tonight. As last week, it was at the dirt track at Charlotte. Dean Reynolds picking up the win over Sam Bachman, Scott Rion, Brian Lawson, and Logan Wentz, your top 5. And looking at the G-Stone Motors 802 iRacing League 358 points, Sam Bachman has a 2-point lead coming into tonight's racing over Scotty Rion, who sits in second. Dean Reynolds third. Mike Brewer is fourth, and Jimmy Geikus rounding out your top 5, and he is actually tied with Sean Green. The Super Dirt Car Series Heat Race passing points. prior to coming in here tonight, Logan Wentz was atop of that with 10 passing points over Sam Bachman, Stephen Brissett, Sean Green, and Clay Christopherson. And Anthony Roselli all with 5 points. 4 points, Brian Lawson, Gary Steele, Ed Brissett, and Bud Molyneux. Here in the Super Dirt Car Series Heat passing points, and that's a pretty unique thing there. So pretty exciting going into racing here as we get ready to go with tonight's 35 lap main event, and I tell you, it's going to be a good one. Coming up here as the field is ready to put on a show for you. Sam Bachman was fastest in that hot lap session. But right now, it is time for the starting lineup. Starting lineup is presented by Super Dirt Car Series, and this will be your starting lineup. Starting on the pole, car number 35 is going to be Mike Brewer. Here tonight, outside of him, the number 15 of Matt Barber. So Barber going to roll off on the outside in car number 16. Rolling off in spot number 3 will be CJ LeBaron. Outside of him, the number 15 of Connor Barker. Dean Reynolds will roll off 5th. Bud Molyneux will roll off 6th, 7th spot to Randall Dixon. As the field rolls on off here. Get you that starting lineup here. Two-build day. That means a little bit of gremlins here. We'll make sure we get that all posted up here for you as we look at your starting field. Rolling behind the pace truck. And here we go. There it is. Starting in 7th spot will be Randall Dixon, Clay Christopherson in car number 51, roll off 8. Sam Bachman, Jeff Sharp in spot 9 and 10. Logan Wentz, Brian Lawson in 12th. Your final 12 starting spots: Anthony Roselle, Daniel Smith, Jimmy Geikis, Ty Dickinson, Shane Billings, Sean Green, Dustin Coggin, Scotty Riome, Brandon Garan, Kelly Wheeler, Michael Vitale, and Speedy Brissett. Your 24 cars here tonight as the field rolls there. Mike Brewer in at 39, the Kubota entry, will lead the field to the green flag for the first time here tonight. 35 laps is our race distance. Pace truck down and away in the 802 G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series is green. Everybody fanning out back here through the field as they work down the backstretch for the first time. Brewer out to the race lead. LeVere quickly trying to make a move onto the inside underneath Barber. Barker working outside as well. Dean Reynolds down low. Everybody lap number 1 into the books. Going to be a lot of action throughout here. They are 3 wide. A little bit deeper in the field. Logan Wentz working the inside underneath Jeff Sharp's automobile. Brewer up front. Wentz going to throw it in deep. Slide and up over. Crossover move by the 0011 of Dixon. Trying to get down low. Roselli trying to make some move up quickly. Is that number 7 car of Anthony Roselli. Rolling in spot number 12. But up front is Brewer and LeVere. Top 2 cars. Barber running in 3rd, Barker in 4th, and now look at the 007 of Bachman. He's going to try to go into that 4th spot. He's going to have it out that stretch. Bachman in that 7th car, rolling the outside of the racetrack. Lap number 4 into the books, working lap number 5. Dean Reynolds trying to work his way towards the front. He gets slid up to the outside of the speedway. He's got a good run down the backstretch. Hold on to that 5th spot. The 51 of Christopherson working the inside. Jeff Sharp, everybody trying to vie for position as we go on board with Anthony Roselli. Close quarter racing as they work down here. Off corner, top 4 cars, all single file. Great action those back here. One car out of shape. I believe that was the 4 of Brion. As he worked the middle of the racetrack, the 17 of Billings working there as well, trying to make his way towards the front. This track could have changed drastically over these 35 laps, already 7 down. You see that bottom and the extreme high side getting pushed out even further. Hard charger so far, and Sam Bachman up 6 spots here early on in this one as he sits in that 3rd and final podium position. Bachman able to hold and wrap that bottom pretty good, and that seems to be a pretty fast lane right now. As your top 3 have checked out over Barber and Reynolds, who battle for the 4th spot. Anthony Roselli trying to make it. Remember, he's had fast time in time trials. He is trying to make his way towards the front of this one, and he has cracked the top 10. Oh, big trouble on the back stretch. That looks like Dickinson up and over. Vitale and in there as well. And the 67 of Ty Dickinson comes to a stop at the entrance of turn number 1. And it looks like that car pretty used up here as our first yellow flag of the evening coming out. Let's see what happened. Bring up the oh, the 57 of Smith up the racetrack. And then everyone else there up and over goes Dickinson. Sticks the landing, but he's going to have to make the tow to pit road. Actually drives it to pit road. Caution laps not counting here, and they do have a backup car that they are able to jump into. They have to take a race a little bit smart now and have to try to not get into trouble. There's yellow flag number 1 coming out here on lap number 11. So Brewer in the Kubota number 39B, your race leader over the 4 of C.J. LeVere. LeVere going to roll off on the outside of that front row. As the lights go out around the speedway, the field will roll behind the G-Stone Motors pace truck. Like Randall Dixon might have taken the 11 behind the pit wall. We'll have to wait and see if he's able to make it back out here. But the field rolls into turns 3 and 4, and we're going to get ready to go back green flag racing. 10 laps down, 25 to go. It'll be lap number 11, and the green flag comes back out. And I tell you, Brewer did not want to play any games there on that restart. He dropped the hammer. They leaves C.J. LeVere and Sam Bachman to battle over to the number 2 spot. Barber, Reynolds running 4th and 5th. Christopherson in 6th. Roselli up to 7th in car number 7, but he is under attack by Logan Wentz. Wentz in that white and purple number 18 car, working the inside of the 7. Look at the 15 with a great run down the backstretch. Oh, it got tight there. Wentz going to throw it in deep. 7 of Roselli says, I don't think so. One car up around the racetrack. That's the 15 of Barker. He got the momentum to the outside to the right rear quarter panel of Roselli. Jeff Sharp working the outside as well. Bud Molyneux in that 883 car trying to make his way towards the front. This track getting really wide right now, but it's all Brewer out front over Bachman and LeVere. Bachman, your current high points man in the G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series, running in spot number 2. Up 7 spots here. A little bit deeper here. Look at the, one car, Barker in trouble. Connor Barker in that Lucas Oil Troyer, getting the outside fence and knocking the rear end out of it. Able to get back going, but lost all that ground. Speedy Percent rolls the inside as they work here on the corner and down the backstretch. Oh, the 9th car in the outside wall. That is Lawson. Keeps it pointed in the right direction and keeps it going. And I tell you, this is like rush hour traffic. A little bit deeper here in this field as they're all fighting for position. But Bachman now with a look to the race lead. Brewer runs that middle groove up off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Bachman in the 007. The special agent Bachman rolls that bottom, and he's going to be our first race lead change of the afternoon with 16 to go. Your current high points man rolls the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Brewer with some ahead of the steam down the backstretch. He's going to cross it over to the inside. Bachman has it. Brewer running in second. Brewer deck to the inside. Can he make something happen off turn before he cannot? Bachman still holds on to it. Now Christofferson starting to roll forward in that 51 car underneath C.J. LeVere. LeVere in the number 4 car. Dean Reynolds rounding in 5th. Everyone getting there. Shane Billings and Jeff Sharp battling it out. Look at Garand in that 4 car really scraping the outside wall there through turn 1 and 2. You see that pushing really moving up the racetrack. The track getting very wide with 13 laps to go. And it's slicking off 1 car in trouble. That looked like it was Brian Lawson. Lawson coming to a stop, and we will stay green. So a tough break for the driver of the number 9 of Brian Lawson, who has to take it pit side. We stay green. On board with Dean Reynolds. Driver out of North Syracuse working there behind LeVere and Christofferson. That is the battle for the final rung on the podium. They try to make something happen. Look at Roselli. Roselli was fast time and time trials, missed. Had to come from the last chance qualifier, and he is trying to get up here inside the top 5. Roselli comes into tonight's racing action 11th in the standings. Trying to help his point situation, but Sam Bachman out front now, opening out over Brewer. I tell you, this is a great battle for 5th on back. You see Barber in that 16 automobile trying to make something happen. Christofferson down low. Here comes Dean Reynolds. He's going to swing it to the outside. 8 circuits left to go. Dean Reynolds trying to make something happen at the outside of C.J. LeVere. Gets a little bit of a run there, spins the tires. I tell you, this is a great battle. Bachman is missing it. I don't think he really cares, though. He is out front. Great battle back here. Roselli, we're going to work the outside of the racetrack. Says, all right, you guys are going to run the inside. I got to go where you are not. He's trying to make up some positions. Brewer starting to close back in. on your race leader of Bachman. That's all behind, though, is this great battle. Rages on. Vitali with issues once again. He's going to drop back to the 27th spot as he has some electrical issues. So 5 laps to go for Sam Bachman as we watch this battle for the 3rd spot. Dean Reynolds in the 4th now, and he is not done yet. Reynolds trying to work the outside of the 51 of Christofferson. Can he make something happen? LeVere right to the back bumper as well. Reynolds in that Super Dirt Car Series trying to work the outside of Christofferson as we are on board with the 51. Reynolds this time with a good run off of turn number 4. Going to try to cross him over. Does not. Swings to the middle of the racetrack once again. Gets a good drive right there. But look at C.J. LeVere to the inside. Meanwhile, up front, it's going to be 2 laps to go for Bachman. And Brewer might have just found something closing in on the backside. Bachman rolls the bottom of the racetrack as they work down here. Brewer has found something, folks, and he is trying to make it work. Up off the corner, number 4. White flag is out. Final trip around the Knoxville Raceway. Off of turn number 2, they roll. One more trip down the backstretch. Bachman has it. Brewer trying to close in on him. Can't quite get there. Right to the back bumper, but off turn number 4. Double agent Sam Bachman gonna pick up the win at Knoxville. Brewer will come home in 2nd. 3rd will go to Christofferson. Reynolds 4th. LeVere is in 5. Barber, Roselli, Billing, Sharp, and Molyneux gonna roll out your top 10, and that will, what a race that was, folks. That was a great one. A lot of action out there. And Sam Bachman picks up the win. He'll roll down here towards victory lane where we'll head as well as the top 3 cars. Roll in and we'll try to get a word with all 3 of these drivers. And how about the crowd here at Knoxville? Really filling it in here. Here's your top 3. Park it down here on the front stretch, and that where we will head for tonight's post-race show presented by G-Stone Motors in the Super Dirt Car Series. We hope you've enjoyed that race. That was a good one. So we got some drivers starting to make their way in. And as they do that, we're going to step aside 1 second. We'll be right back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network as you watch the G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series.
Here's to our country markets, to the moms and the pops, to the 3 generations strong, to the lifeblood of our communities, for prepping our meals and lending a hand through the good times and challenging times.
I'll be there when you need me. You can count on it every time.
Thank you for always being there for us. Your friends at G-Stone Motors.
Welcome back here to the Turn 3 Racing Network as we get ready to go with the G-Stone Motors post-race show. It has been a great one here tonight. And we're going to start off with our feature event winner here as we take a look and get in touch with him. It's the driver of that number 7, Sam Bachman. Man, where did you come from? Coming up 8 spots here. Looked like a really racy racetrack out there. How much fun was it from your driver's point of view?
It was pretty fun. That bottom was really hooked up. I tried it in warm-ups, and then I was telling all the FTM guys, I was like, yeah, this bottom's pretty hooked up. We better get to it as quick as we can. And that's what I did right when I got in there. I think I gained like 5 spots right off the rip, but it took a little time to get past the rest of them. But it felt pretty racy though.
Yeah, a lot of racing. I know you checked out, and you probably wasn't really checking that rear view mirror on at all. But these guys were really all over this racetrack, and that's what Knoxville is really known for, and always puts on a great show here with this G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series. Come in as the points leader, going to leave here, I think, with making a little bit more gains on that. I know it's a little bit early to start talking about points, but it's got to feel good to be able to start the season off this way.
Yeah, it's obviously nice to get a good head start to a points championship, but it's obviously a long season. Anything can happen. I mean, could have 5 bad races in a row, so you never know.
Yeah, in this, the challenges of this. I mean, you guys, you got no slouches out there as we work through this race season right now. Next week we're gonna head to the Oswego Speedway, and that's a tricky track. Feelings about going to Oswego next week?
Yeah, I don't really know. I got mixed feelings about it. I usually make contact with the wall and end my race or flip out of the park. So I guess we'll just have to see.
Well, we hope you keep it wheels down. That's for starters. Stay away from that boilerplate next week. Roger will be back here in the booth. I was glad to fill in for him. You guys put on one hell of a show for us here. Who makes it all possible on this race car to get you here to victory lane?
Obviously, all the boys over at FTM, Gunner at Swan Speed Shop, Dean over at Super Dirt Car Series, Expert Installation, Turn 3 Racing Network, and G-Stone Motorsport.
Well, congratulations, Sam, and enjoy this one, and safe travels back to the state of New York here as we go to Oswego in 1 week's time.
Thank you.
There you go. Tonight's feature event winner, the driver of the 007, Sam Bachman, going to pick up the win. The driver that's going to come home in second, started off this race, was right there all over the back bumper of him, was a driver of the number 39 Kubota. This is Mike Brewer, and Mike put on a heck of a show there and really found something late there. Mike, you need a few more laps maybe to get back up there and challenge Bachman for the race win.
I think it would have been tough to get around him running that line. Congrats to him rolling that bottom like that. I just couldn't do it. But I did find that go entering high and bringing it off the bottom. I was pulling him in there, but I don't think it would have been enough to pass him.
Knoxville really, once again, proven to be one of those racetracks tough to get a hold of, really widened out, made a lot of racing room out there. You led the first part of this race, and then Bachman, just like you said, able to roll that bottom, and that's an art form here. It's really tricky with that inside berm. It really upsets the race car if you get up on it, doesn't it?
Oh, it definitely does. And Sam, you watched him. He's awesome at running the bottom like that. I can't do it. I tried it, and you get that left front up on that berm, and it just upsets the car, and then it'll throw you up into the slick, and then you're washing up the track. And so that's why I just kind of stuck it to the high side and didn't chance it.
Well, a nice second place finish for you here tonight, Mr. Brewer, and going to roll on into Oswego with a little bit of momentum on your side.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm a short track guy. I like those short tracks. These big tracks like here in Charlotte and Lernerville, I'm just not good here. So definitely looking forward to it.
Well, we'll roll the red carpet out here. Nice second place finish run for you. Who makes it all possible on this 39 to put you here on the podium?
First off, G-Stone Motors, giving us a place to race. They brought in a lot of really good, clean, respectable drivers, and a lot of them we've raced with. We've raced together for a couple years now. So to have a place to bring us all together like this is incredible. It's a ton of fun, and being able to broadcast it, my brother, I have a ton of family watching this right now. My Uncle Ron, my Aunt Kelly, my brother Matt, guys from our real life crew. So it's amazing. Appreciate it.
We enjoy doing it. You guys put on a good show, which makes it even better for us up here in the booth. And well, I know you're missing Roger. He'll be back next week. But congratulations here on this second place finish, and we look forward to seeing what you can do in Oswego next week.
All right, appreciate it, and we'll see you there.
All right, that's Mike Brewer, driver of the 39. He's going to come home in spot number 2 tonight. All right, up next will be the driver that comes home in 3rd. If I can get things to work. There it goes. And this is Mr. Clay Christofferson. And Clay, first of all, I hope I'm not butchering your name.
No, you got it. You got it right, Christofferson.
Got it right. All right. Well, congratulations on a 3rd place finish. But, I mean, it looked like a hard fought when you were making some moves late in this one, getting yourself in there. How tricky what did this racetrack become as it widened out?
It was pretty tough to keep hitting that bottom consistently. I was going to explore, but then Dino was on the outside and then behind me, and I'm like, I don't want to explore too much and be left by, I got to make up 6 cars. So I kind of played defense a little bit when them guys started kind of having their own race. I just kind of put it on the cruise and stayed at the pace that I felt comfortable with, where I wasn't overthrowing the car.
How hard is it not to start overdriving that race car when you start hearing those rumbles working to the outside there? You know you got to be easy on that gas, especially as this racetrack starts to slick off and trying to hit your marks on the bottom.
It was tough tonight. We're pretty much all the lanes were wanting the bottom for the grip on the straightaways, so hearing the car on the outside or even the inside, you wanted to be the first one to that grip. And it made it pretty tough when it got slick. There was more options, but everyone was still pretty dependent on the bottom.
Well, you put on a good show, moving up 5 spots here tonight, so that's always good to be going forward in the right direction. You're going to get here on the podium. Next week, we go to the Steel Palace, and that track, tricky, and those walls hurt, don't they?
Any wall hurts. Found out none of them move.
As hard as we try to make a move, they just don't.
They just don't budge.
Oswego, have you got many laps there? I know that's one of the newer racetracks on the service here, and one that everyone looks forward to with these Eastern Dirt Modifieds is Super Dirt Week, the big race up in the Northeast in October. And what's your outlook as we head to Oswego next week?
I've gotten my fair fair wins and top 5s and stuff last week. I feel really comfortable there running the bottom. It's consistent. It's probably one of the most satisfying tracks to run the bottom at.
So we're going to have to see how you make out up there, and we wish you the best of luck. But before we let you go, we know you got some guys and some crew members that help wrench on this 51 to make it all possible.
Yeah, all the guys at FTM for helping out with whether setups or techniques and tricks, and then Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block setups.
Well, congratulations, Clay. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Congratulations on a 3rd place run here tonight. Well deserved, and we hope to see you maybe a couple of spots better next week in Oswego.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's Clay Christofferson coming home in spot number 3 here this afternoon, here at the Knoxville Raceway. As we come back to some live photos here, Sam Bachman picking up that race win as we take a look at your Super Dirt Car Series results for the G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series, and that is not of the C-Main. We want to show you tonight's A-Main results. Sam Bachman picking up the win, Mike Brewer and Clay Christofferson rolling in the spot number 3. Dean Reynolds 4th, and C.J. LeVere rounding out your top 5. You can see some other notables up there. That hard charge, your hard charger of the race, unofficially is going to belong to the 17 of Shane Billings, who comes home in the 8th spot, unofficially up 9 spots. And, well, Speedy Brissett going to do him one better back there in 14th spot. Started 24th, going to come home 10 to the good in spot number 14. It was a great night of racing as you see the final finishers where they finished. As next week the series rolls on into Oswego. The Clay Palace will be the next stop here before the holiday break for the 802 iRacing League presented by G-Stone Motors. If you're in the market for a new Ford, Our construction vehicle, G-Stone Motors, can get you all settled in there. We thank them for being the presenting sponsor of the G-Stone Motors 358 Modified Series. On behalf of Roger Muth and everyone here at the Turn 3 Racing Network and the Super Dirt Car Series with Dean Reynolds, we thank you for tuning on in here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. And until next week, we'll see you in Turn 3. Good night, everybody.